Welcome to another video. In this video, I want to show you how to make selections. In your work with Photoshop, you'll be using selection tools a lot. So here you have the marquee tool. So there are different types of marquee tools. You have the rectangular marquee, you have the elliptical marquee, single marquee, column marquee tool. So in this case, we're now opening a new file. We just drag in a picture so we can get started. These pictures I got them from Unsplash. So unsplash.com is a very good resource for getting images that are free to use and really cool. So okay, the image is loading up. Now this rectangular marquee basically is just you click and you drag. So click and you drag. And it's very good for, let's say, something like cropping. So you want to crop this image now, you go to image crop, and that's your cropped image. So Ctrl Z. Now that's that about this one. If it's an elliptical, let's go to, let's say, probably something like this. In a case where we probably want to select a circle, an elliptical. So if you drag out, as you can see, when I click and drag, this is not giving me a perfect circle. So when you press shift with it, it's going to give you a perfect circle. So that's what shift does. And you can see that this point is the origin of the circle and everything is dragging out from that point. But if I press alt with it, the origin now turns to the center as well. So that's the usefulness of shift and alt when working with Photoshop or making selections. Now at the same time, just so let's say I make my selection. But in this case, let's say I want to copy the layer. Let's say layer via copy. So now here in my layers panel, I have the layer just selected. You can toggle this view. You can see now. So definitely we'll be working more with the layers panel in future videos. But you can see that this selection now, I have cut a part different from the crop that we did the other time. Crop is permanent in the sense that you just want a new picture in a sense. But this one, let's say you're working, maybe you want a design and then you want this picture to be there. So a quick one, since you already know how to use text, let's say I write cake, press select, then I drag on my cake text. You can easily see that with this and some other things, you can start making designs and all that. But we'll get to that in a bit. Now, aside the rectangular marquee, elliptical marquee, we have the single row marquee. So this single row marquee, what it does is it selects one line. And even in this image, you really cannot see it. But when you start to zoom in, you see. So it selects a row of pixels. So what that is really good for is, if I create a new file, let me just work up with this one. Create. Okay, I've not gone to there. Create a new file. Okay. Then the gradient is under paint bucket. So you have gradient here. Then we just use whatever we have currently. If we have I'm pressing shift just for demonstration purpose. Now, if I select this line, you can see that this gradient is the same color from like across all the rows. So let's say from the top to the bottom, the gradient actually repeats itself. So let's say like in the earlier days of the internet, like before CSS could code background images. Basically, what people do is, instead of, this small line, if I explore this small line, it will be very small, but I can use it to repeat a pattern on a website. So I still get this same look. So basically, that's one of the good use I can see for this column marquee and the single row marquee. So you rarely be using it. You rarely be using it. But basically, it's there, and for when you need it, it can really come in handy. So you can see here too, and if you select it in the column, then you really have something I can work with. So now the next one will be the lasso. So the lasso tool, you have the lasso freehand. So freehand, in the sense that you can just draw, make a selection, and then you have a selection. So you can just do layer via copy, then you have something like that. So then we have the polygonal lasso. So this polygonal lasso is good for like buildings. So if I zoom in now, zoom in, then I go to polygonal lasso. I start, start. Uh, well, if it's okay, this maybe not this building, this other one. So I'm pressing Ctrl D to deselect. So when you have a selection going on, let's say I have a selection and I want to so you see that there's a tiny circle that shows as the end of the selection. So you can deselect, deselect rather here, deselect, so that goes. But what I want really, I want to select this building. This looks like a very good candidate for polygonal lasso. So when you click here, there you go, there you go, there you go. So you are you're able to use the polygonal lasso just like this very easily. If you had used freehand, it wouldn't have really worked. So these tools, they lend themselves to certain use cases. So if you wanted to select, let's say this lady now, let's use this picture. You want to select her image, you definitely cannot use polygon and lasso because our body is not made of polygons, right? So if you have the time, you can use the lasso. Really, when you start to zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. At the particular point, you see that the we are careful enough, the lasso can be effective. Of course, these days we don't really have that luxury of time. So you can use magnetic lasso. So for this image, magnetic lasso, what it does is it looks at the image and once with your guide, it automatically picks points. So definitely this place is has more contrast than the background. So when I start working, it starts even if I go in into the image, it takes a while before it starts picking points in the image. So if you use that around the image and you're careful enough, you get a very good selection. So there's that. Then I want to talk about magic wand. So magic wand tool, you just click, you can toggle this tolerance. What this tolerance does is it extends the influence, degree of influence. You can see when it was around 4, just the same selection, it's not picking as much. So what this does is it picks areas with similar colors or the same colors. So when you are working, when you are trying to remove background and all, when you look at studios, even a photography studio, if they know that the picture they are taking that they will be removing the background, they set the image up for that already. You see them using a green screen or a uniform background so that the image will be easily edited. You can easily remove the background. But unlike us that most of the pictures you're taking it in the market, taking it with different things going on in the background, multiple colors in the background, it won't be easy to just use this magic wand tool. So there's this also quick selection, so which is also very nice. So we've gone over this selection tools, but we need to do one more thing, and that's the adding to selection. So let's say I make a selection like this, and this section is already gone. If I want to add to the selection, let's say with a circle, I'll just click on shift, then add to the selection. If I want to add a rectangle to the selection, you do that as well. If I want to add a, let's say, a lasso to the selection, you press shift. When you press shift, you see a plus sign. So that shows you that you can really add to the selection. So currently this selection I have. So, and to remove from selection, you press Alt. You see the minus sign. So this really comes in handy if you are selecting, let's say, a person and you are doing it in bits, or some parts are done with different tools. So in this case, you're definitely using okay. Uh, okay, so I was using spacebar to move it around. So when you have the your left mouse button pressed and you're dragging out without shift or hold, you can use the space bar to move around the selection before you fit it in place. So basically now if I want to add to the selection, I press shift, then I start working. So you can see that this one now, this part I'm doing it with the freehand tool, freehand lasso. But when I can now use magnetic lasso again, then I say okay, probably this point. So if I miss some parts, I can add them later. So let's pick the hand, pick the hand. You see, I can go on and on and make to full selection, but just to show how we make selections, it's not always about using one tool. You use a combination of the tools by adding and subtracting the selection. So that's how to make selections. So now in this case now I can just click on the marquee tool and let's say layer via copy, and this is what we've done so far. So see you in another video.